And we're live. I'm super excited that you guys are joining me today. I am here with Doug Bryant, and he is the owner of Fish Window Cleaning in Rock Hill, South Carolina. And he is here today to help us dispel some myths about house cleaners cleaning windows, right? I get asked this question a lot from house cleaners who like, hey, let's just add in a little bit of extra, money by washing people's windows. And I do not want us to do that. Doug is going to tell us all the reasons why. So, Doug, hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
You mentioned something a minute ago that caught my attention about the chemicals that you use. And you said you
Mhm.
use soap and water. And I'm guessing that's one of the reasons why, when you're outside and you use the pole as the filtering system, that I would imagine that would be safer than spraying chemicals up there on the windows that then could backfire and come out on your plants and other things. So,
Mhm.
tell me about that.
Yes. So, and we don't use these things a lot. This is just, very specialized situations. When there's an adhesive stuck, maybe you put up some Christmas lights or something and you put some tape on the windows to hold them there or whatever. If that adhesive is, we're having trouble getting it off with soap and water, we have an adhesive remover that we'll use. It's very hard on your hands and your skin. So we use gloves when we do use it. We're very careful about those things. Also, I'm sure at some point we'll talk about hard water stains or mineral deposits. It's a different cleaning process than just soap and water. Those spots will not come off with soap and water. It takes something a little more heavy duty, and there's a cream that we use on that. And that's actually something that it takes a lot of elbow grease to get it out, even with those products. So we actually bring in an electric buffer and just buff the window with it. So to get that out.
I'm imagining that that has to be done on a ladder or a lift of some sort.
It's typically, you don't really see that a lot on the higher end, and I don't know if that's true across the board, but we mostly see it on lower windows.
Uh-huh.
And one of the main reasons we do see it is because the homeowner has a sprinkler system, and that sprinkler system is probably using well water, and that water is either hitting the windows directly or it's splashing onto the windows. Over time, that will build up, and if you're not cleaning your windows regularly, it'll get to the point where you have to go to that extra step of using harder chemicals. It takes a lot more time. It's a lot more expensive. So it does happen.
So are there a lot of areas that have hard water that really need that service that you're offering?
We see it a lot. We do. I think the biggest culprit that I see is sprinkler systems. It can be caused by rain too. I don't know the specifics of what causes it chemically or anything like that. But when it does happen, if you keep the windows clean regularly, it doesn't stain, doesn't stick to the windows. But if you don't, and especially if you got a sprinkler system that every day is hitting those windows, over time, it's going to be hard to get off.
As I travel, I've seen some windows that I'm like, "Oh, no, I wouldn't wanna clean those. Those are, like, terrible with the hard water stains and so discolored that it looks like it really devalues the outside of the home."
Yes. And I try to point that out when we're doing the estimate before we even come to the house to clean. Make it a point to point that out to the homeowner. Listen, we're going to clean with soap and water. It's not going to get this out. If you want this out, we can do it, but that's a different job on a different day and a different cost. Because when we don't make that clear up front, we'll clean the windows. It doesn't come off, and the homeowner's not happy because they expected that to come off.
Mhm. So what I hear you saying is setting realistic expectations is a key element in customer
Yes.
satisfaction.
Absolutely. If there's something you know that you're not going to be able to get, or it might not look great when you're done with it, we always try to point that out just to make sure that, listen, this is the job we're doing versus what you might be expecting. And if you don't want to hire us, that's absolutely fine. We just want to make it clear that we're not going to be able to get that off with the price point we've quoted you.
Is there a better time of the day to have your windows clean, like morning versus the evening or hot sun, no sun?
Well, there's differing opinions. I think that generally you don't want to do it on hot, sunny days. Doing it in the sun is not bad. You'll see out there people will say, don't clean your windows on a sunny day. I don't necessarily agree with that. But when the sun is beating directly on a window, our solution is just soap and water. But if we're not quick, by the time we soap up the window and get our squeegee to clean it off, it's already drying and it can leave
Mhm.
streaks. So it can be very difficult to clean on a hot, sunny day, especially when the sun's beating on a window. Other people say overcast is the best time to do it. I don't necessarily disagree, but My one complaint with overcast days is when you're looking through the window and trying to get it clean, you don't have a contrast. You don't see that contrast from the sun. So it will look clean to you, but the next day when the sun comes out, you might notice that you missed a spot or you have a streak or a drip or something like that that you couldn't see when it was overcast. So that's the only, I guess, downside to cleaning out overcast days. Temperature wise, I would say ideal conditions are 60s or 70s. We live in the South. In the summer, it gets well into the 90s regularly. We try to get as much as we can done in the morning. You can't clean the windows in the dark. So it's not an easy answer to that question. And everybody has their own opinion, but ideal conditions, I would say somewhat sunny, 60 to 70 degrees.
A day like today.
Yes.
Thank you so much today for all of the insights and inspiration and for letting us know why house cleaners don't clean windows.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the questions. I enjoyed it.
This has been awesome. Thanks again.